The gate was 6 inches taller than their St. Bernard's shoulder. This was intentional. Delphine and Oseabara had measured carefully after the neonatologist explained the situation. Their son Kwame had been born with a congenital immune deficiency, treatable, manageable, but requiring careful management in his first months while the treatment protocol was established. The medical team's instructions included limiting his exposure to animals. Their St. Bernard, a 3-year-old named Hugo, who weighed 162 pounds and had shared their home since before any children existed, would need to be kept from Kwame's room. They installed the gate at the nursery door. They measured. They added a second latch at the top. Hugo watched the installation with the expression St. Bernards deploy for situations they are considering. For 11 days, the gate held. Hugo slept downstairs. Kwame slept in the nursery. The family maintained the separation with the discipline of people who understood what was at stake. On the morning of day 12, Delphine woke at 5:30 and came downstairs to find Hugo was not in his bed. She went upstairs. The gate was closed. She went to the nursery. The gate was closed and latched on both points. She opened the door. Hugo was on the floor beside the crib. He was on his back, which was not a posture Hugo assumed. He slept on his sternum like a sphinx, or on his side, never on his back. He was lying with his legs extended and his head turned toward the crib slats, which were at face level. He was awake. He looked at Delphine without moving. She said, "Hugo." He did not move. She looked at the gate. It was closed and latched. She looked at the window. It was closed. She looked at her husband's face when she went and woke him, and he looked at the gate, and they both looked at Hugo, who by this time had rolled to his sternum and was simply lying beside the crib the way a very large dog lies when it has decided this is where it will be. If you stay for stories about what animals sense before we do, you're in the right place. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. They never determined how he got in. The gate was intact. They checked every possible entry point. They checked the gate mechanism twice. There was no explanation that did not require Hugo to have done something that a 162-pound St. Bernard should not have been able to do quietly enough to not wake a baby or two parents. The immunologist, they told at the next clinic visit, was silent for a moment. She asked about Hugo's health status and vaccination record, which were current. She said, "There is emerging research on the relationship between certain dog-specific bacteria and immune modulation in infants with some conditions. It is not conclusive." She said he was not in the room for long periods from what you're describing. She said, "Monitor the gate." She was quiet for another moment. She said, "How did he know which room?" Delphine said he had known from the first day. The immunologist made a note. She did not explain what the note said. Has your pet ever done something that made no sense until it was the only thing that made sense? Tell us in the comments. These stories deserve to be heard. Kwame's treatment protocol was established by 4 months. By 6 months, his medical team had revised the restriction guidelines. By 8 months, Hugo was permitted supervised contact. He did not behave like a dog meeting a baby for the first time. He behaved like a dog rejoining something he had been part of for a while. Every guardian deserves to be recognized, even the ones who never asked for anything in return. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe so you never miss the next one. The gate is still in the hallway. They kept it, not because they use it. Kwame is 3 now and has made it clear the gate is not his concern, but because it is a reminder of something they cannot explain. A closed gate and a dog on the other side of it who somehow was also on the same side of it. Every family has one story like that. This is theirs. The next story involves a terrier who began a behavior his family called annoying, right up until the moment they understood what he was doing.